Guys, in this video we can see how to develop React.js project using VS Code software. React.js is a UI design framework. It is used for developing full stack web application. So in full stack web application there are two projects we need to create. One is front end application we need to create, and back end also we need to create. So front end we can develop using React.js framework, and backend we can develop using Node.js and MongoDB. In this video we are going to see how to create React.js front-end application. So first of all we need to install Node.js software. So we have to search Node.js software from this website, like nodejs.org website, and there is option download. You can download you can select the operating system. You can select Windows or Mac OS. Based on the operating system you'll be getting the setup file, and you can download and you can install. So once it is installed, you can close this and we can open the VS Code software. And in VS Code, first of all we need to create a folder. So for that there is an option called open folder. Here we are going to create a new folder. So for example, I'm going to create a new folder called React projects. So now after creating this directory, we have to open this directory. So once it is opened, we can now this directory we can use it for developing both the front end as well as back end, right? So let us talk about the front end application using React.js. So first step is we have to open terminal. In this terminal we are going to use commands for developing the React project. So there is a command called npm create Vite at latest my app. So before typing this, first we need to ensure that the Node.js is successfully installed or not. So for that we can use this command node -version. So we can see the version of Node.js installed. So it is successfully installed. We are getting the version. So next step is we have to use the command called npm create, and there is one library called special library called Vite. This library is used for auto deployment. Like whenever you save the code, the output you can see in the browser. So for auto deployment we are going to use this Vite with React. Okay, so we are going to use latest version Vite, and the next is we are going to decide the project name, the front end project name. For example, we can assume that front end application. Then press enter. So when you press enter, it will ask select the framework do you want to use. So we have to select React, okay, and press enter. Then we have to select variant, which variant you want to which variant framework you want to use, whether it is TypeScript or JavaScript. So we are going for a JavaScript. Select JavaScript, and you'll be getting another option, use roll down Vite experimental. So here we can select yes, and the next is actually install with the npm start now. So here we have to select no. So this is the option you have to remember. You have to select no. So when you select no, it will create a project directory. So that's called scaffolding project is done. Okay, scaffolding project is done, and you can see the project is created and some folders are created. Right now we have to go to that particular project, like we newly created the project like front end app, right? So in this directory we have to move in the terminal, right? So for that we have to type cd front end app and enter. Right after enter we have to go for installing dependencies. So this command npm install is used for installing the supported libraries for this particular React, right? So let's go and install this supporting libraries. npm install. So now it will take some few seconds to install the supported libraries for this particular project, right? So once it is done, we can see the output. We can see the output by using this command. Like the last command is npm run dev is used for executing the React project. Okay, so we have to type, whenever you want to execute, you have to type npm run dev. So now the project is actually deployed in the local host with the port number 5173, and when you keep the mouse over here you will be getting an option called follow link, right? So this link we have to click. So when you click the link, you will be getting the output in the browser. Okay, so this is a default page automatically created by this project, right? So now let us go back to the project directory, and we can understand the project structure. So let's just minimize this output, and let's explore this project directory. So in this project directory, we have a public folder and src folder, and you can see there is a file called index.html, right? So this is the main program will be displayed in the browser. When you see the output in the browser, here in the browser, the output is coming from this particular index.html. Okay, but in the index.html there is no much content, right? But the content is how it is coming, right? So there is a placeholder section called div id equal to root. Okay, so this section is actually will be dynamically updated from another JavaScript program, right? So we need to create another React program. So the React program render the output inside this division, right? So this line number 10, division and id root. So this section is used for the displaying the output what you want to render on the screen. Okay, so this will be done by another scripting logic that is done in the line number 11. Okay, so here you can see line number 11, script type is equal to module, and there is a file is included called main.jsx, right? In React project, the JavaScript files will be stored as .jsx. Okay, so in this main.jsx there is a React program is there. So based that React program render the output in this particular division. Okay, so let us see this particular file. So this file is available inside src folder, and inside you can see main.jsx. Okay, so in main.jsx there is a function called create root. Okay, so this function is imported from React DOM. You know, DOM is a document object model, right? So that is a predefined React library, React DOM. So from this library we are going to use, there is a function called create root. Okay, so create root function is used for identifying the division in the in the index.html using id. So we are going to identify this particular section and we are going to render. Okay, so in this main.jsx, first this create root function identify the section by using document.getElement by id, that id value, and there is a function called render for displaying the content. Okay, so in the render function we are going to include some output components. Okay, so in the output components is written by using a separate JSX file. Okay, so by default we have a separate JSX file called app.jsx file. So this is a main program which will give the content to here. Okay, so which will render the content here. Okay, so that's why this particular app.jsx file is actually written using a React functional component. So it's called React functional component, and this functional component is actually included inside render function. Okay, so that whatever output coming from app.jsx will be displayed in this particular root section, okay, so here it will be coming that particular output from this app.jsx. Okay, so now the main program which we want to work is app.jsx. so here only we are going to target. Okay, here only we are going to implement the code for generating the user interface design. Okay, so these are actually initial step. Index.html is the initial step, and main.jsx is a initial rendering function called. And also we are using for styling, there is a by default one CSS file is automatically created called index.js CSS file that is available here, and you can delete this, and you can customize as per your requirement. We can change all these styles. Okay, and this is one of the file is included along with the main.jsx file. If you want to delete, you can delete this. Okay, and similarly for app.jsx also we have a separate CSS file, and we can write separate CSS styling for this app.jsx. Okay, right, so all these CSS styling will be included through import statement. Okay, so there is a statement called import. Okay, and in this program there is a function is used called app. Okay, same name as app.jsx. Okay, so this is called functional component. This is a very important concept called in React functional component. So in React, all the UI designs are created using functional component, and once this functional component is ready, we can export this functional component using export default that particular function component name. Okay, right? So like this, the React.js component is actually added in this main.jsx. Okay, so here we can see the output. Okay, and this main.jsx will update the render the root section. Okay, so here you can see that. Okay, right. So now let us see, we can change, we can modify this, right? So we can delete all these code and we can modify this. So let us see that. Before that, if you want to modify this, okay, you can see, look at this, we have Vite plus React, right? So we can say that welcome to React. So it's coming, right? So welcome to React is coming. Okay, so this styling is done. The default styling, it's coming properly in the sender, and we are getting a proper font also. And when you click this, it's working, right? So everything is written by using this particular code, right? So this code we need to understand. So let us see the simple code how to design the React functional component. Okay, so first of all, we are going to delete all these code. Okay, we are going to delete this app.jsx. Okay, and we are going to delete this particular CSS also. Okay, and this particular CSS also. Okay, so now it is purely from scratch we are going to do, right? So this index.css is empty and this app.js CSS is empty. Okay, so now let us understand how to write the functional component. That's very simple. We have to start with function and the file name app, right? Bracket and open bracket, close bracket. This functional component, this is a React.js functional component. Okay, so this functional component should return a HTML content, some design content. Okay, so this, just you understand, React functional component, right? So this particular functional component should return some HTML content. Okay, so let's see that return function. So return is a function. So inside we have to return a particular UI design. Okay, design component. Okay, so the UI design should be enclosed with a single container. You cannot return a multiple tag. You cannot return a multiple HTML tag. You have to return only one container box you have to return. Okay, so once you return, and we have to expose this particular functional component outside this particular folder. So for that we have to use the export option, export default app. So this is just for permitting this particular functional component to be accessed by this main dot. Here we have a main.jsx. Okay, so you can try this. Okay, so now inside let's include one content, for example h1 welcome to my React project. So when you save it, it will be getting this. Now you are getting the default font color, font style also. Okay, so we can modify using this CSS. Okay, if you want to modify this, we can use this, either we can use index.css or we can use this app.css. Okay, so currently we are working on framework, right? So it's better we can use some CSS framework for this. Okay, instead of writing this app.css and index.css, but don't delete this. Some code, some styles you can write in CSS also. Okay, so the recommended is you can go for some CSS design framework like Bootstrap. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about how to install Bootstrap in your project. So for that it's very simple, npm install Bootstrap. Okay, we have to install this Bootstrap and we have to copy this particular importing statement in your JSX file. Okay, so let us try this. So already this project is running in this particular terminal. We can open a new terminal, okay, and here we have to click new terminal and we can install npm install Bootstrap. So press enter. Now it is installed, right? So let's minimize this, and now Bootstrap is installed properly. So now we can include the Bootstrap in main.jsx. Okay, so we can this particular file, there is no CSS coding is there. We can comment this. Instead of this, we are going to use the Bootstrap, right? So how will you use Bootstrap? For simple Bootstrap, we can use this import statement. Import bootstrap dist folder css bootstrap.min.css. If you want more designs like model window and all, you can use this library, JavaScript library also. This will give more user interactive designs. Okay, so it's better you can use both CSS and JavaScript file. Okay, so now once you include this, now we can use the Bootstrap classes. Okay, so let us check. You can refer Bootstrap 5 latest version, Bootstrap 5, and you can see this website, and there is a website called Bootstrap W3 School website, right? So you can learn about what are the classes available for Bootstrap. Okay, so for example, let's try some container box, okay, and colors and all. Okay, we can try. There are two type of container fluid and container, and colors also we can try, background colors and all. Let's try this background colors, right? So for example, BG primary, BG success and all. Okay, so let's go back to this particular design, and you can see the output also. Since we are using Vite framework, this particular, when you save this project, it immediately deploy the project. Okay, so it will auto deploy. Okay, so that is a concept. Okay, so now let us use the Bootstrap class. Okay, for example, this can be a, right, so this can be a container, right? So let's we can use container box, container. So for that, in React we have to use class name as container. Okay, right? So we'll be getting a container box. So now you'll be getting some margin here. Okay, and we can also give some background color, BG primary, we can set. Now you'll be getting the background color, some background blue color, and the text color we can modify using this class name. Okay, for this heading. Okay, for example, I want text should be white. Okay, text white. So this is more this is little easy than when you compare the plain old CSS writing. Okay, so we can use this Bootstrap. Okay, so like this we can use any Bootstrap classes from here. Okay, from here you can use any Bootstrap classes. For example, like padding is not there, right? So for this entire container we can give padding. So padding you can give p-1 to 5 we can give. 5 is a large padding. Okay, so for example, let's try large padding. Okay, you'll be getting like this. Okay, and you can bring this text to center. Okay, center of this particular container. And one more thing, there is a margin is also there. M stands for margin. If you want to give some gap in the top, okay, we can give MT, top margin. We can select 3 or 4 or 1 to 5 we can select. Okay, and if you want to bring this text to center of this division, we can use text center, right? So now it's coming to the center. Okay, so whatever CSS Bootstrap class you are applying here, okay, it will be applied to the output. Okay, so this is a structure. Okay, so this video is actually we are going to we are learning how to design, how to create a React.js project, and how to create React functional component UI design. Okay, so this is about React functional component function, then this particular file name app.jsx. Okay, and you should return one container box, not a individual tag. You have to return only one tag. It contains every design. Okay, and then we have to export. Okay, so like this we have to design the React.js UI user interface design. Okay, so that's all about how to create a React.js project, and we learned how to include Bootstrap for designing better UI design using standard classes. Okay,